simple project. Over here, you see public access, you see the water's edge, you see a place where people can hang out, where there's habitat been created. Over here, you see a private, fenced-off space that blocks access to the Martin Goodman Trail and the rest of the waterfront. Today, what we're starting is we're going to take this and we're going to make it like this so that people can access the waterfront.
The park will have a pathway connection that's really part of a larger waterfront trail that goes across almost the whole city of Toronto. It'll also have some great new habitat features, some below water for fish and other creatures that support the fish population here, and then also some terrestrial features, some native planting, and other features that will support the migratory bird population.
This community was started because of the waterfront. So many years ago, the history of Etobicoke is a community settling on the waterfront. And to be able to now, many years later, bring back access to the waterfront for our families so that they can ride their bikes, so that they can walk their dogs, so that they can enjoy the freshness of being on the lakeshore is so important.
Now, a core strategy that we have is to really lead with public space, as we're doing here in Mimico. Parks are a catalyst for redeveloping an area. They bring in new businesses, they bring in entrepreneurs, they bring in real estate development, they really create community.
But with this linear park, phase one, we've seen many successes. It's encouraging a lot of new development. We've had the Cafe de Lac come in, Lakeshore Arts has now moved into the area. We also have a new development right in the corner here, 11-story condo just approved a couple weeks ago at council. So these types of initiatives really help the revitalization.
It's a great example of working together and coming up with a plan that meets a variety of needs, of cyclists that want to commute to the city, of families that want to walk, that want to picnic, of preserving our natural heritage, of revitalizing our businesses. We come together, we work together, we plan together, and today it is wonderful to be with you and celebrate together.
The park's going to be constructed actually through a lake filling process along the narrow section existing shoreline. And what we're going to do to celebrate the beginning of construction is we're going to help a little bit with the filling in of the rock wall.
It's important that we view these kinds of things as a long-term strategy. 3 levels of government all participate. They all actually benefit from these kinds of projects in the sense that it leads to better health, leads to better communities, leads to public safety. So we're all connected and interwoven. It's important for us to work together and make these things happen.
Some might expect that Waterfront Toronto is really only concerned with the downtown waterfront, but as you can see today, that's really not the case. We're working here with Toronto Region Conservation on Mimico Park. We've also created a waterfront park in the Port Union community in Scarborough that's giving people in that part of the city access to the lake for the very first time.
Well, these become the things that people remember about these kinds of neighborhoods. They don't necessarily remember some of the sewers and some of the streets, although those things are really important. But what they really remember is their leisure time, the great times that they've had in these communities like Mimico. So this becomes the image that people have of this part of the city, and when they're growing up and then when they're raising children and as they're even senior citizens, they think about these parks. It's so important to the whole vitality of the community.